I'll be going over to the causes of depression. If you have watched this video to this level, I want you to please click the subscription button, like this video, and also comment. Let me hear your comment. Even if you have any topic you want us to discuss or anything you're suffering from that you want us to detail down for you, you can comment down this comment section and let's work together. Thank you all so much. Okay, the causes of depression. The number one cause of depression might be linked to genetic factor. Yes, some depressions run through the family. Some depression go through the bloodline. So if you have your parents or your grandparents that have suffered from this depression, there is a high chance of you developing it. So you have to pay attention. You have to play with caution. Okay? And next sign of symptoms are changes in the brain neurotransmitters. The brain neurotransmitter, these are brain chemicals. Whenever there are changes in these chemicals, it might lead to depression, just like the serotonins and the dopamines and also the non-adrenaline. So whenever they are in low state, there are high chances of you developing depression due to this matter. It might not be linked to abuse or trauma or feeling of guilt normally, but this is caused by your brain. When your brain neurotransmitters are not working properly or they are not in their normal level, it might predispose you to having depression. The next causes of depression is environmental factors. Environmental factors like exposure to traumas, childhood abuse, exposure to traumas like domestic violence, a lot of them. Even physical trauma might disorganize a person and lead them into depression if proper care is not taken. So exposure to traumas can lead a person into having depression. The next causes of this depression is a person's personality. Yes, your personality matters a lot, and your personality also affects your health. Some people are at risk of this depression due to their personality. When someone has a personality or a tendency of worrying a lot, people that worries a lot, they are at risk of this depression if proper care is not taken. The overthinkers, you think about a thing a lot, you overthink. So sometimes you have to let things be as they are. I don't say don't think about it. If you don't plan, you plan to fail, yeah. But have a limit to everything you do. Have a guideline, have boundary to everything you do. Anything that doesn't have limit or boundary actually cause health issues. Just like, let's bring diabetes into the matter now. Maybe if you are consuming a lot of glucose and you don't guide the way you eat or consume carbohydrate, you're at risk of having diabetes. And also, if you don't consume glucose and carbohydrate at all, you are at risk of having hypoglycemia. So everything of life should be guided, everything of life should have a balance, everything of life should be adequate. Okay, think, but don't think too much. Worry, yes, but don't worry too much, so that you don't lead yourself to another thing. The next personality that might lead a person to having depression is low self-esteem. Low self-esteem, when you don't see yourself worthy enough, when you look up to other people so high but look down on yourself, when you talk bad about yourself, low self-esteem, when you don't view yourself as being worthy, this might also lead you to depression if proper care is not taken. So low self-esteem is something you need to fight against. Low self-esteem limits you from achieving your goals. Low self-esteem causes you depression. So work on your personality. The next personality that might lead you to having depression is the perfectionism. Perfectionism, you want everything to be all good, you want to have it all together. You can't always have it all together, and that's life. That's why people are born and people die. That's balance. You can't always have it all. You can't have it all, so and you should be comfortable with that. If you're comfortable with not having it all, I don't say don't fight for what you have. Fight for what you want. Fight for what you have, but don't have this mentality of it must always be perfect. Come on, it mustn't always be perfect. No one is perfect. No one is above mistakes. So be free. Be free to make mistakes and be free to take corrections. Don't always believe that everything has to be perfect. When everything doesn't go your way, you start suffering. You start having depression. So let's be guided in the kind of personality we build for ourselves. Okay. The next personality that might lead you to depression is sensitivity to criticism. You are too sensitive to criticism. You have to guide yourself, guide your mind, guide your spirit to a level where what people say doesn't affect you. The mood shouldn't be dependent on what people think of you. People are free to think anything they want to think of you. They're free to say whatever they want to say. That's their mouth. But please guide your mind and spirit that whatever people think of you doesn't affect you anymore. Okay? You should reach to a level where you guide yourself so much that no matter what they say, you are good with yourself. Your mood and your behavior shouldn't be dependent on what people think of you. Think good things about yourself. You know what you want, you know the problems you're facing, and you're trying. So focus on that, focus on the goodness of God, focus on positive things of life. No matter how good you are, people are always going to talk. So don't let the criticism or the praises of men change your behavior or affect you or lead you to depression. The next personality that somehow predisposes a person to depression is self-criticism. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop looking down on yourself. Stop blaming yourself. Stop saying, oh, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, I can't be like her. Stop comparing yourself with people. Compare yourself with yourself. Compare yourself with the result. At least you're better than the person you are in the past. That's enough reason for you to be happy. Stop comparing yourself with people. You can never be them. Yes, you can surpass them if you work hard, but you can never be them. They'll have their own life differently. They will also give account of their life differently, while you give account of your life differently. So stop criticizing yourself and stop the comparison. It's not healthy for you. It might lead you to depression. So another cause of depression is drugs and alcohol abuse. Some drugs have this ability of depressing the central nervous system. Some medications, some substances we consume. And alcohol is a well-known central nervous system depressant. So alcohol is a depressant. Its action depresses the walls of the central nervous system. It steps down your thinking, it steps down your coordination, it steps down your mood and everything. It might even cause euphoria. Euphoria is an increase in happiness, excess happiness. It might even cause depression. So alcohol depresses the central nervous system, so as other drugs that I will not mention, but you should bear it in mind. So the next cause of depression is life events. Life events. Some events that we go through in our life, maybe long-term unemployment, might predispose a person